Hey, what's up, guys? Or should I say, hey, what's up, sir? Because you're the one who's going to be watching this video. I'm Saul, and today we're going to play a little bit of a game. It's called 333. And the cool thing about this game is that I'm the only one that's going to be playing, because I'm the only one that's in this frame. So, three takeaways from each of the three modules, and of course, three takeaways from class out or anything outside of what was discussed of those modules. And finally, in each of those takeaways, there should be at more than three materials that I'll be discussing. So hopefully, we're gonna have a fun time with this. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so let's get this rodeo started with Module 1. So, in Module 1, we will be discussing the Taximan story, the lottery, and vision out of the corner of one eye. So, the first thing that we would have to see is understanding the role of tradition. And I think this rings true in the Taximan story, the lottery, and vision, and a little bit of vision out of the corner of one's eye. Because in the Taximan story, he's talking about how how the speaker or the taxi man is talking about how kids, the typical conversation of, oh, kids these days, they're not so and so forth, obedient to their parents and whatever. Back in our day, it used to be like this. Now it's like this. Meanwhile, in the lottery, it shows the dangers of course, like upholding tradition. That even if you're a part of it, if you're a contributor to it, it doesn't mean that you are automatically excused from the dangers that it poses, because in the end, the girl, or the woman, sorry, I forgot, who was killed, she was very much gung-ho about their town's way of doing things, about their town's way of doing the lottery, right? So, in order to understand our place in the world, we must understand the role of tradition and how it has shaped people's minds, because something like this is literally embedded into our minds, right? Because of course, it's something that we grew up with. So, yeah. And in Vision Out of the Corner of One Eye, it shows how, like, the church, how it excuses, in a way, the man praying, the man showing that he is religious, or something like that, despite being a molester. It kind of excuses it, like it feels like he's being excused for that, in a sense. But, like, good on the lady for saying, no, no, let's not do this. So, yeah, so to understand our place in the world, we must understand the role of tradition. And next is the transcendence of lived realities. So I think, so of course, we have tradition, right? So something that we grew up with. But in order to see how it is like for other cultures, how it is like across the world, we have to look beyond what we were raised with, right? We have to go beyond. We have to see that, oh, it's like this here in this country. It's also like this here, right? So, yeah. So, yeah, that's what it is. So, transcendence of lived realities. You have to go beyond what we were taught, what we grew up with, the norms, the beliefs that we hold. So, yeah, that's one. And then the next one is that truths remain across all contexts, proving that we really are interconnected and not alone in this world. So, I say this even if we live on an island, even if we live in the 21st century. I mean, some of these texts, they were written like kind of long ago when you think about it. I mean, the lottery was written quite a long time ago, and it still rings true today, because look at the DDS people in the Netherlands. Even if he already got jailed up, even if Duterte already got jailed up and everything, because they are the people that want to uphold the tradition of the strong man and all of that. And now look, everyone is being punished because of that. So it still rings true. It still rings true. And of course, why certain bills can't be passed nowadays. Like, for example, in America, you have the anti-abortion, and now anti-trans rhetoric, because all because of tradition, all because they don't want to look beyond what they grew up with, right? And then of course you have, sexual assault happening in many different places, and they're all being excused for all sorts of reasons. But of course, one of those reasons is tradition, like, oh, this is how it is here, oh, this is normal here, but it actually isn't, right? So those are my three insights for module one, I would say. Okay, so for module two, we'll be looking at three more pieces of literature. So we have The Danger of the Single Story, Telephone Conversation, and finally, Post Colonial Theory. I'm not going to discuss it in that order, but let's go get into it. So, so first takeaway is, of course, treating post colonial texts as something that is exotic. Let's be honest, post colonial theory still comes from the perspective of the white man. So they're going into it thinking that, oh wow, look at all these new literatures from Africa or from the Philippines. Ooh, wow, this is so interesting. When in fact, let's be honest, it's not more interesting than their literature. Like I would say it's on the same level as their literature. Like we're all from Earth here. We're not we who lived on who is part of a colony, or yeah, so we who live as part of a colony, we are not from Mars. So the thing to be careful with when it comes to reading post-colonial texts is that we should think about these things on the same standpoint, especially us people who come from a post-colonial society, right? So yeah, let's not fall into the same trap of the white man. So next one is, of course, getting into multiple perspectives, because we've been trained, we've been spoon fed one narrative for our entire lives. In the academe, we are given information or training from in the ways of the white man. So in so doing, we are not that sensitive to our roots. We are not that sensitive to our immediate surroundings, and so, because of that, we have to be open to multiple perspectives, to acknowledge that maybe the things that we have heard our entire lives, they might not actually be quite true. Or if they're not true for us, or if they're true for us, they could at least not be true for other people, right? Especially people who are living in different parts of the world, right? So, that is the thing with the danger of the single story. And finally, the last one is telephone conversation. I actually relate to this in some way, because in telephone conversation, the main character there is, or the speaker is basically or sorry, the character there, yeah, the main character is what I interpret to be someone of mixed race. Now, I'm also someone of mixed race because my dad is Filipino, my mom is Colombian, and I'm always being asked, "Oh, like, are you a foreigner? Are you like, are you not from here?" Like, no, of course I'm from here. I'm from the I live here. I was born here, right? So by going into post-colonial literature, we're also delving into cross-cultural as well. So especially for people who like in telephone conversation come from biracial places. I think this is similar to my previous point. Let's not look at these stories with a sense of like mysticism, like again exotic. So I think the essence for this entire module is that we should be very very careful about how or what lenses we use to view different stories, right? Because sometimes these lenses may completely alienate some of the points that these stories are made, or maybe it might completely change the interpretation which the author in the way that the author meant it to be interpreted. So that's my takeaways for module 2 with these three stories.